All right, thanks a lot, Campbell. This morning we have Representative Aaron Johansen is joining us in studio to talk about some of the issues that you and your fellow lawmakers are focused on. Thanks for being here this morning.
Good to be here. Thanks, Laura.
Okay, so let's talk about the name of the package, Empowering Hawaii's People to Improve Our Quality of Life. Let's talk about that, about you know, the theme.
Sure. I mean, I think it gets directly to what we feel as the House Republican Caucus is what we need to do in government. The point of having people enfranchised and empowered is so that everybody's quality of life improves. And so our 10 measures or so are aimed directly at either improving access to government, participation in government, more information, and in so doing, really being able to just improve things like the cost of living or making sure that consumers are protected and greater educational opportunity.
So what do you think then about what the governor had to say in his State of the State? I mean, he definitely talked about how education, preschool is priority for him, as well as protecting the kapuna and other more protections for low-income families. What were your thoughts, and how do you reflect on that?
Sure. I mean, I think that the speech was sort of a safe one. It didn't propose a whole lot of new ideas, but one thing that I was pleased to hear is that he's looking at easing the tax burdens on the elderly. That's certainly something that is a problem for our most vulnerable. What I wish that the State of the State would have done was address a broader cost of living relief for most people, because almost everybody in Hawaii feels like they're struggling and just trying to make ends meet.
So as far as his education proposal, that focus being on preschool and pre-kindergarten, what's the focus for Republicans? Is it, I understand that there's mandatory kindergarten is one of the...
Sure. We're trying to ensure that all kindergarten-age children have the ability to go to kindergarten and that they receive a kindergarten education so that there's a full and complete continuum instead of a gap, which would exist if people elected not to go to kindergarten right now. So while we've put a lot of focus on the preschool-age children, we need to make sure that there's a full continuum. And I'm quite sure that the House Education Chair, Representative Roy Takumi, is going to hear some iteration of the kindergarten idea.
One of the big issues, raising the minimum wage for $1.50 is what the governor was proposing. Is that something that Republicans are supporting at this point, your colleagues?
I think it probably depends on what the amount is. Quite honestly, it's a significant impact to small businesses, especially the mom and pop stores who have a much harder time weathering these increases. But really absent from the discussion is most of us at the legislature often, the dialogue seems like we just concede that the cost of living is going to remain high. I don't make that concession. I think neither do House Republicans. We really need to do more to actually decrease overall the cost of living so that at the end of the day, the precious few dollars that people have in their pocket go just as far, rather than only looking at it as a zero-sum game of we have to put more dollars in people's pocket because we believe the cost of living is always going to remain high.
Well, I know there's a lot more to talk about. People can find the full package online, correct?
Correct. Yep, at the House Republican website, as well as any of the Capitol websites.
Good time to check it out. All right, thanks so much, Representative, for being here.
Thanks, Laura.
All right, still ahead, a recap of the day's morning headlines. And taking a look at Wall Street right now, they are having a tough time out there. Stocks just keep tumbling this month, down almost 200 points, about to drop below the 16,000 mark. We'll be right back.